So before we get to multiplying and dividing binomials, why don't we take a look at something, a little more low-key, if you will. Well, root 2 times what would give me 2? So we got to think about like how to fill in the blank. Literally, there is a blank there for you. So, well, root 2 times square root of 2 would be square root of 4. And what's the square root of 4? It's 2. I think we can apply the same concept over here to the root 3. If I multiply that by root 3, I get 3. Remember that. And also remember that radicals can multiply to radicals. Numbers outside the radical can multiply to numbers outside the radical, but they don't really mix. So let's look at this third one, I guess, down at the bottom left. 3 times 4 root 2. Well, what's 3 times 4? Because those are both numbers that are outside of the square root, outside the radical. That would be 12. And then since nothing got multiplied inside the radical, it's just root 2. No big deal. Now this other one, I have to multiply the 2 and the 4 to get 8. And then I've got these guys. 2 times 3 is root 6. Can I simplify root 6? No, so that would be it. And the reason I want to point out one thing that I said earlier, it was how I said we had root 2 times root 2 gives me root 4, which equals 2. The reason why I said that is so you don't think that like, oh, just the radical cancels when you multiply two radicals. It doesn't. This gives me root 9. This gives me root 4. It turns out that what I get from that is 3. What I get from that is 2. So over here with this one, I have root 6. It doesn't simplify. It stays like that. So now let's multiply some binomials, because you guys can handle it. All right. It's just like foiling when you have like 2 plus x times 3 minus 4x. Same deal. First, outer, inner, last. So it's basically like what we did on the last couple problems, but 4 times. Bonus problem. So let's see here. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 4 root 2. 4 times 4 is 16. Nothing gets multiplied to the root 2, so it stays root 2. Then we have 2 root 2 times 5, so the 2 and the 5 give me 10 root 2. Nothing multiplied to the root 2 there. Then the last one, I'm going to have 2 times 4, which is 8, and then root 2 times root 2 gives me root 4, which we know is just 2. 8 times 2 equals 16. So this right here is going to be 16. So let's go ahead and combine our like terms, whatever they may be. Well, 20 plus 16 is 36. 16 root 2 and 10 root 2 added together is going to give me 26 root 2. Dunzo. Nice. Let's try the next one. So I have 3 times 5 is going to give me 15. Oh, Jenny wants to go outside. 3 times root 7 is 3 root 7. Then I have negative root 7 times 5 is negative 5 root 7. And then negative root 7 times positive root 7, well, negative times positive is going to give me a negative. Root 49, which we know is 7. So that's minus 7 right there. So let's combine our like terms. 15 minus 7 gives me 8. 3 root 7 and negative 5 root 7 gives me negative 2 root 7. Boom. Not too bad. Now the big, major, huge pitfall that many students have is not realizing what operation they're doing. When you don't see anything between the parentheses, we're doing multiplication there. If you see subtraction between the parentheses, want to take a guess at what you're supposed to be doing? That's right, subtracting. If you see addition, you are adding. All right. Also, it'll usually say in the directions, find the product. So you need to multiply. Don't add or subtract. You need to multiply. If it says find the sum or difference, that's adding and subtracting. So read the directions. I know reading is hard, and especially in a math class, but you guys can do it. I believe in you. America, freedom, rock and roll.